I'm Vinny Politan. Great to have you with us here on Closing Arguments. Big hour ahead. We've got a lot to talk about in the Madeline Soto case. Those videos have come out and revealed some new things. Madeline Soto had just turned 13. This was the birthday the year before. 1 year later, she turned 13, and then a few days later, she went missing and was found dead. Her father wasn't living with her mother. They split up even, before she was born. But there was a man in her life. His name was Stephen Stearns, and they sort of acted as a family unit, sort of, I say, because of the nature of the charges here. That's not how a family acts. But Stephen Stearns apparently referred to himself, and Jenn, Madeline's mother, referred to him as sort of the stepfather. But, the charges here are so horrific, and it seems like it's an extremely strong case because it's based upon what was found on his phone, images of what he allegedly did to that little girl since she was 8 years old, and then kept all the images. Like, what's going on with this guy? He's now charged with her murder as well. But now we go back in time, right? When the case first starts, the investigation first starts, it's because a child is missing. And there's a call made to police. She wasn't in school all day. So at this point, she's missing for about 12 hours, okay? 12 hours because she never made it to school. And 911 is called. Orange County Sheriff's deputies respond. And Jenn Soto speaks to the responding officer. Let's take a look.
This is Mom.
This is Mom? Okay.
Hey there.
Hi there.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So, my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Are we looking for another kid, or we have a kid?
Looking for another one.
Alright, so people are still on the scene. Let's put that out in the hospital location. How long?
13.
I'm trying to get there right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So she was supposed to be dropped off at school, didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today, and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker, and I'm just like, maybe she walked here, because sometimes she'll walk here to this office. I came here, nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got a notice, an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not at school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it.
A lot of things about this really strike me. Let me bring in our special guest joining me live in studio, National Parenting and Family Relationship Expert, Dr. Sue Kornbluth is with us. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. Sure. The scene, police are first arriving, missing 12 hours, just turned 13, and there's this eerie calm in the entire room. What is that?
Did you feel that too? Because that's exactly what I was feeling. But I was even feeling really sick inside when I was watching all of this. It's like nothing happened. They're as calm as could be. I want you to notice something in his body language. His arms are crossed, Vinny.
Yeah.
You know what that means? That he's guarding something, that he doesn't want to probably let out or tell the truth of what has happened here, because as you and I both know, and everybody else, these videos of him abusing her since she was 8 years old are all over his phone. In addition, is the mom involved in this?
Well, to me, that's a big question. I want to put up on the screen. This is from one of the reports that was released. Jenn stated that her and Stephen had been dating on and off for approximately 7 years. So this man's been in Madeline's life for 7 years. Jenn stated while they were together, they would either all sleep in the same bed, or Madeline would sleep with her when Stephen was not there. When asked if it was normal for Stephen and Madeline to sleep together without her being there, she said yes. Jenn stated if she needed a good night's sleep due to her anxiety, she would ask them to sleep in a different bedroom. Stephen stated Madeline always needed human contact when going to sleep. Stephen referred to it as snuggling. what's going on with Mom here?
This sounds really strange to me, okay? And it also sounds like the behavior of someone that could be a pedophile. And
When you say someone, are you talking about Stefan? Or are you talking about Mom allowing them, yeah, I want the bed to myself tonight, you two go somewhere else?
I'm talking about both, Vinny. I don't know, all right? And I have concerns about the mother, and I have concerns about this stepfather. That child has been in bed with both of them, been in bed with the father. I mean, she's been all over the place. And it is really, for me, hard to believe that that mother had no idea about what was going on in her own home.
Now, as we've been talking about, they had the photos, right?
Yes.
So they're interviewing Jenn, and they show her the photos. Let me put this up on the screen, because her reaction is described. Jenn did not want to believe, and did not want to believe that Madeline and Stefan were engaged in sexual activity. It's not sexual activity, it's sexual abuse. A child cannot engage in sexual activity with an adult. Jenn asked to see the image of Stefan and Madeline. I pulled out a printed picture from Stefan's Google Drive that showed Madeline, her daughter, with Stefan, her boyfriend's penis in her mouth. Jenn said she didn't recognize anything in the picture, as if she was in denial. However, she became visibly upset. In that moment, the reaction is denial, disbelief. She becomes upset, but I'm not seeing anger. Like, I would expect, and I don't know if that would, I don't know, but I would expect the turning, boom, in that moment, oh my goodness, he's the enemy.
Absolutely. In a normal experience of abuse being exposed to a parent, the normal reaction is exactly what you said. Anger, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Are you kidding me? But how she behaved is the opposite of that, which leads me to believe that she possibly knew this was going on.
Could there be any other explanation? Could she be...
she could be in denial.
Denial, like low self-esteem and needs a man in her life?
Well, I thought about that too.
Turning a blind eye?
Yeah, I thought about that too. But I thought about it differently than you. I thought about it in this way. She knows what's going on. He is so aggressive and manipulative and has to have power and control. So he has threatened her and can say to her, if you say anything in there, or if you ever speak a word of this to anyone, I will kill you. I've seen this before in cases.
All right, Dr. Sue Kornbluth, great to have you in studio. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Vinny.
All right, let me bring in our next special guest, true crime live streamer, Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing to it. Gray, great to see you. I want to play another piece of video that's been released. I know you've gone through all of them in great detail. This is the moment where Stefan Stearns is taking police to the area where he says he dropped off Madeline earlier that day. Let's take a look.
We have a very strong bond. But, you know, I'm the person she goes to when her mom gets in a fight with her and she needs someone to comfort her. And like, I'm that person for her, you know. This girl knows nothing but love here in this house.
Was it here?
It was along this stretch. I couldn't remember the exact spot, but it was around where these communities were. So thank you. So it's like around where these communities were.
Okay.
And it's just like in this stretch, like we could see the overpass down there.
Where's this for?
Just on the other side of the overpass.
2105. So somewhere around here.
So yeah, somewhere, maybe not this one, but the next one possibly is right in this stretch. When we just came down and we drove about halfway down, and she was like, that's good right here.
Okay.
All right, Graham, again, I know you've gone through all these videos in great detail. Start with this description by Stearns, and then give me your reaction to what else was revealed in these videos.
Yeah, well, he talks about how he dropped her off right there. And as you remember, in the audio file that was released just before he was arrested a week or two ago, then apparently they see him on camera driving. So he goes, oh, yeah. And then I turned around and then I drove back and had to get the clicker from the apartment complex. So how does that jive with this here? Wouldn't he have just dropped her off there the first time and then went just back to the apartment? So where this happens right here, I was able to find that exact spot on the map. It's about 300 yards from the road that you can turn into the church. So I'm not really sure why she'd want to get off 300 yards back here and then walk all the way past where the church is and then go underneath the underpass and then go to school. Yeah, I think it's interesting, too, how he mentions in the same video here about, yeah, wow, it's weird how there's no surveillance cameras around. You know, it's almost like he knew. It's pretty interesting.
That's fascinating, right? And to me, everything that happened that morning, right? It seems like it's a plan. He's going through the motions and is literally driving the routes to somehow come up with a story of dropping her off at school. But we know she never went to school, so this didn't happen. This is provably, even at this point, sort of made up. The fact that he's dropping her at school and watches her walk, make sure she gets there well, even though she's like fiddling with the backpack. What did you think of Jenn Soto in these videos?
I guess there's two videos inside that same insurance company. The first time, I mean, she really looks upset and everything, but I will tell you, the one thing that it's bothering me, and I don't know where the answer comes from, is remember how she says she saw Madeline getting dressed at 8 in the morning, okay? We believe that's not true because at 7:35, Stefan's throwing items into the dumpster. But in this interview here, she said she corrects Stefan Stearns about what Madeline was wearing. How was she aware of what Madeline was wearing that morning? Was it actually earlier than 8 o'clock? Was it at 7 o'clock in the morning that she saw Madeline getting ready and just said 8 accidentally? Or is there something more going on with her just continuing to embellish a story? I don't know where she came up with what Madeline was wearing if she wasn't visibly, didn't have her eyes on Madeline that morning.
That is such a incredibly important point, because that's a moment in the video where she's not just parroting what Stefan Stearns told her. She actually corrects Stefan Stearns. So no, she was wearing black shorts, meaning I saw her that morning. We still don't know the time of death, and these are pieces that have to be put together. We're short on time tonight, but we will be speaking again. Gray Hughes from Gray Hughes Investigates, thank you so much, sir. When we come back, the think tank is standing by to weigh in on all of this and what it could mean for Madeline's mother.
This is an innocent woman. She didn't do it.
It's a controversial case that's divided a community.
Karen Reed is accused of murdering her police officer boyfriend.
Prosecutors say she ran him over on purpose and left him to die in the cold.
But Reed claims that she's being framed.
It smells suspicious.
After years of legal fireworks, will the truth finally be revealed?
The end game is to figure out who killed John O'Keefe and hold these people responsible.
The Killer or Cover-Up Murder Trial. Live coverage weekday mornings, only on Court TV. Filter.com.
And when was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off.
How tall is she?
5'1".
Yeah.
Weight?
110 pounds.
About 110, 112.
Hair color?
Blonde.
Blonde, like a dirty blonde.
Like a dirty blonde?
Yeah.
Okay. Eye color?
Blue.
Does she have any markings on her, like any scars or anything like that?
There's a distinctive beauty mark on her face here.
On her face?
On the face, like below the nose or near the nose?
Yeah, like right in that area there. It's very distinctive. You'd know it if you saw it. Big.
Any other scars or anything like that? We should know.
Scars?
No.
Tattoos?
No.
You'd be surprised.
We're all chuckling. She just turned 13. She's gone more than 12 hours. And I don't understand the scene in that room. I just do not understand it. I don't think a jury will like it. But the question is it just going to be Stephen Stearns by himself, or at some point, is Jenn Soto going to be charged? Is she going to be a witness? Let's bring in our think tank. Join us live in studio tonight, criminal defense attorney, entertainment attorney, former assistant DA in Atlanta, Daryl Cohen is with us. Also joining us, criminal defense attorney Meg Strickler and criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor David Schnipper. Great to see everyone tonight. Daryl, what's just your reaction to that? Like that video, if that goes in front of a jury, who looks good, who looks bad in there?
The photographer looks good because it's rocking back and forth and laughter and the joviality. My daughter, who's 13, is missing.
Just turned 13.
And I am being jovial. The mom, looks awful as she rocks back and forth. But it wasn't a nervous rock, if you notice. It seemed to be just having fun. It's levity. I didn't like it at all.
It was not a nervous laugh. You can tell a nervous laugh. All of us can be inappropriately laughing at something because we're so upset about something. That's a very normal reaction, but that was not that weird laugh that you can, when you're in a really sad, horrible, shocked place, you might do a nervous laugh, but that's not where she is. I see no evidence of anything
the whole
other than
scene there just
they look relaxed.
It doesn't strike me as we have a missing child.
Not at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would think that if your 13-year-old is missing, you'd be pulling your hair out, pacing, calling everybody, figuring out, screaming.
Maybe looking for her? Maybe looking, like Stephen Stearns, I don't think searched 1 minute
well, we know why.
For her.
We know why he did.
He's like this.
Right, but he's going to say he didn't do it. He's not going to come into court and say, I did it.
No, but it's a bit, he's dead to right. I mean, but here's my thing about him. Is I don't think this was planned because either he's so stupid, which he probably is, but all the stuff on the cell phone, then he's throwing stuff away. It's almost everything was frantic, like it wasn't planned or something, some incident happened, and because there's no pre-planning anything. If he was going to pre-plan to murder somebody, would have gotten rid of everything on the cell phone. He wouldn't have been everything's surveillance. You can't even go to the bathroom today.
David, you're presuming he has some intelligence.
He doesn't.
Correct, but just the frantic of him after the fact. Now, who knows what she knew? Look, Bernard Madoff's wife happened not to know that he stole billions and billions.
Shut up, she did.
That's what I'm saying. But like she wasn't. So who knows? Who knows what she knew and people that act differently?
But that's the question here, right? The big question is about Jenn Soto at this point. We know what's going to happen to him. We know he's got trial dates coming up, 2 separate trials, one for what's on his phone, second for the murder. Clearly, this is going to be a death penalty case, I believe. It'll be up to the jury to make that decision if they find him guilty. But Jenn Soto's role in all of this, do you, as former prosecutors, do you approach her at this point? As a defense attorney, do you keep her from speaking to prosecutors at this point? What is going on?
Look at the phones and the discussions on the phones. She was complicit in a lot of stuff. So you could probably charge her with cruelty to children or whatever the Florida statute is for that and get her from other stuff, which ultimately will still put her in prison as well. Because it is not okay, any part of this. And that body language in that video shows her guilt.
If I were an assistant state attorney in charge of this case, the first thing I would do is go to her and advise her whether she has a lawyer and wants one or chooses to talk without a lawyer. We can charge you. Based on the evidence we have, we would like your cooperation, we would like your testimony, and you make your own decision. Because
how much information do they need from her to fill in the blanks here?
Well, see, I would do it differently. I would go to him. We got him dead to right on so many things.
You're going to offer him something?
No. I would go to him.
Whoa. What are you going to offer him?
Well, you said there's 2 cases. There's 60 sexual charges in one case. And then there's, first you keep investigating, but at the end of the day, if you need to go to him, maybe you take off the death penalty to get him to talk about her. That's what I would do.
Would you trust any statement he made?
I would trust the fact that he's going to lie to help himself. But the good thing is he is so inept, he is so dumb that lying will just help him go further and further down the rabbit hole.
I'm curious about prior transactions. You don't get to this level of sexually abusing somebody for 5, 6 years and then killing her by accident or whatever the heck the story might be in trial There's going to be prior stories coming up from ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, whatever, that's going to make this even more
we got to dig into it. Good news, Think Tank with us the whole hour. Up next. The body cam video also reveals information about a young girl spotted on surveillance video close to where Stephen Stern says he dropped off Madeline. Is this a problem for prosecutors?
So she was supposed to be dropped off at school, didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today, and she never came out.
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. The church across the street had some cameras, and they mentioned seeing her waiting around in the parking lot for a while before moving on, and that was it. But it was grainy. It was grainy footage, and not much else.
That statement always stuck with us because he was saying it and Jenn Soto was saying it. There's surveillance video of her near the church parking lot. We're like, where's that coming from? Are they just making this up? Now we know because we've got the body camera video from the responding deputies from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and they actually went to the church to review surveillance video and apparently see someone, and then they talk about it. Take a look.
Just stay there. Oh, wait, there is a person getting out of the car.
She's had it for a while.
I wonder if she's waiting for somebody.
Let's say she was going to school. She would have been till like 9:05 or something, right?
Yeah, that's when Olivia leaves here. She stays here until like 9
No, she's
or
gone
5.
by 9.
She's gone by 9. She's walking.
Yeah.
And she walked away.
Towards the school.
Yeah, she's on property by 20:59.
So nobody picked her up?
No, nobody picked her up. All right, cool.
So it's possible that she came here and sat in the parking lot for a while. It's blurry video, but it looks like a adolescent child sitting right there, and she's sitting. The people here said that they were adamant they seen her on the property, but like I said, it's a blurry video, and I don't see her getting into anybody's car in the video. I see her sitting on property for give or take 10 minutes and then walking off property. I don't know which way she went from there. Around, like, I'll say...
Is there any way I can see something from
It's really blurry. It's like there's no possible way. You can ask them to see if they could allow you to see the video. I can't really grab that for you, and just have them see if they have them. But yeah, I had her sitting there, and then she walked right off property. I'm trying to see. I'm gonna send that to my detectives, see what they can do with that, and get more video.
There's no cameras like that show the bridge or anything?
No.
Okay, so some clarity now. So it's a deputy who actually sees the video, records it with his phone, and sends it back to the sheriff's office. So I've been covering trials for more than 2 decades on Court TV, and every time there's a murder trial, there's a defense. There is a defense. Regardless of how overwhelming you believe the evidence is, there is always a defense, and I believe this will be the centerpiece of the defense. Stearns dropped her off. She's spotted on the video, and she's walking away. It's just blurry enough that you can't identify who is in the video. Is this a problem for prosecutors? Let's bring back in our think tank. Daryl Cohen, Meg Strickler, David Schnipper. Is it a problem?
Not at all, not with all the evidence they have against Stearns. From the photos on his phone to the surveillance of him throwing stuff away, to lying. So not him. The question is about, back again, is to the mother. Was she involved? What did she know? Did she know anything? Or was she just
so
in the dark?
Not even a bump in the road here. How do you think this plays in the trial?
There's
this
no
mysterious child, you've got one of the deputies saying, I see a girl in the lot.
Yeah. But we don't know it is she. That's number one, okay? Number two, we don't have all the evidence yet. We're not at the trial stage yet. So I have a suspicion there's gonna be more surveillance video from other places and or more cameras from this particular church even. But let's pretend that's all we have. It's no bump in the road because you have all the rest of the storyline that implicates him, and him.
If he has a valid defense and the jury chooses to buy it, that's only as to the murder. That has nothing to do with the year after year after year of incarceration he might have if convicted. And I say might have because you put him in the general population, he won't be around long.
Well, the initial trial, the first trial, which will be for what was found on his phone, Florida passed the law. A lot of people are questioning the constitutionality of it, but they passed a law where you could seek the death penalty just for that because of her age at the time of these assaults. Is there any, what does that trial look like? If the images are on the phone, like I said, everyone has a defense.
There's nothing to defend on
What's the defense? It's not me?
There's no defense on the for the phone. There's no defense. Now the murder.
Do those cases ever go to trial?
They shouldn't. But if they're offering the maximum and he's going to get the maximum, he has no choice. His lawyer has no choice but to have him go to trial.
That's why at the end of the day, what the offer would be is you plea, we take off the death penalty.
Exactly.
Because it's so hard in Florida. Florida's one of the toughest states to be the death penalty because it has to be unanimous via the aggravating factors, meaning that all the jurors in a separate trial phase have to agree for death. If one of them says no, then it's no death penalty. So it's very difficult in Florida to get the death penalty. It doesn't happen.
That's another reason why you don't necessarily take it off, because as his lawyer, if his lawyer is any good, his lawyer knows that that is exactly what is about to happen if he's convicted. So his lawyer says,
well,
you better give me something better than that, dude.
If you have a death penalty, right, if it's the law in the state, like why wouldn't this guy? Like, what's worse than this? Like tormenting a little girl over the course of 8 years and then ending her life just after her birthday, either the night of or the morning after her 13th birthday.
He is not going to make it in prison.
Of course, he deserves the death penalty, but the question is, will there be a juror that it doesn't matter what you do? You could be Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy. They don't believe in the death penalty.
Which is okay with me, because if he goes to prison, he'll get exactly the type of justice, J-U-S-T-I-C-E in caps, that he deserves.
It will happen. It's a
tragedy. The girl had never had a shot.
No, she didn't. She's
it's a horrible story.
And unfortunately, part of it is the actions of her mother. So at this point, just allowing your child to be alone with someone, not a crime. You have to have some level of knowledge of what he's doing.
There'll be some
How can you prove that?
There'll be some
How
texts.
can you prove that mom knew what was going on?
There'll be some texts or there'll be some videos with her in it or pictures with her in it.
But they have all the videos and they haven't charged her.
But they may also have what this poor little girl said to her friend.
Yes.
They may also have that testimony to come in to bolster the evidence that they have that's circumstantial.
They already admit that she could sleep in his bed.
Right, she's admitted that. I mean, she has said that. But if someone knew what was going on there, would they admit to that?
He's going to start talking. Is my guesstimation.
He won't even show up to court, by the way. He has waived every appearance for all his charges so far.
She's going to be arrested too. I'm very confident on this one because you can't live in that house and have those things occur and not know it's not happening.
The question is, will they have the evidence or enough probable cause to arrest her? I mean,
that's why I'm thinking
probable
technology.
Cause, because you and I, we all know probable cause is really possible cause. Did it maybe possibly perhaps happen?
Right.
And they've got enough to prosecute her. Whether or not they've got enough to convict her.
Right.
Okay.
They can punish her without her being convicted.
Let's take a look at more of this video. Again, this video has just been released in the last few days. This is the initial response after she's reported missing.
What's her name?
Madeline. M-A-D-E-L-I-N-E.
M-A-D-E-L-I-N-E. Last name?
Soto. S-O-T-O.
S-O-T-O?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd, 2011.
February 27th, 2000?
22nd.
Oh, sorry, 22nd.
2011.
2011.
Just her 13th birthday.
13th.
Charlie Bromby. What's the name of the single aid?
Madeline Soto, age 13. I'm trying to get a clothing description now. What was she last seen wearing?
26 County Killer 4 Black people hit my call 931 same call.
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts.
Yeah.
Black shorts.
She got dropped off. She was like, so she couldn't barely just find his car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
It's an image thing. She's in the face.
But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called
She
school.
was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got to walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of, shambling over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning.
All right, the statement, she was rifling through her backpack, that is provably false because at 7:35, he's at the dumpster at the back exit of the subdivision. And in that dumpster, there's a camera right there at the dumpster, by the way. Inside the dumpster, they find her backpack, they find her laptop. Her phone is left at home. Stephen Stearns says he left his phone at home that day, coincidentally. So Jenn Soto also gave a statement saying that at 8 a.m., she saw her daughter getting dressed for school. She says in the video, corrects Stephen Stearns and says she was wearing black shorts. I believe they're actually blue, but she's describing what she's wearing. Making these statements to police, can that be something that she's charged for?
She's trying to protect him. You can hear it because she's trying to talk them over and be like, yeah, it was black shorts. And so she wants to keep him out of jail. You can just get the vibe from her video there. It's disgusting. She wants him to be innocent of this, and she's happy that the kid's gone. You can see it in her eyes.
How long will it take before a decision is made whether or not she's charged? How long do you give this?
It all depends on what they have to, if they can charge her or not. I mean, so we all think that we just charge somebody because they seem guilty or act guilty, but what evidence do they have? And as Daryl said, is obviously you can be arrested for basically anything, but can they convict her? So right now, they don't have evidence enough to charge her, but I probably will eventually change because I think the investigation is still going on. And my guesstimation, again, is that Stephen Stearns is going to start talking and more will come out.
Also, an investigation will show you. They're going back, going through her school records. They're going back and interviewing the counselor. They're going back to interview.
Are they going to talk to the kids? Are they going to talk to her friends?
Of course they will. No. They would be so inept if they didn't. That is just step number one. Give us a roadmap. Give us something that we can go after. Something we can go after. Please give us something we can go after, and they will. Now, whether or not they charge the mother, I think they should. I think they will. Whether or not she'll be convicted, that's another story. But we used to call it DA's or state attorney's time. If we couldn't convict a person, it didn't stop us from prosecuting if we knew he or she was guilty.
If you believe they were guilty,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, we're obviously going to stay on top of this story, bring you all the developments as they happen.